My name is Venkat. This is my presentation for building a CDC Watermarks API. CDC stands for Change Data Capture, which when database grow to millions of rows every day, downloading everything that changed is too slow. For that, I built a Spring Boot application that and PostgreSQL backend that tracks changes and exports only new or updated data. Let me show you the architecture. This system follows a clean three-tier architecture. The most important feature is asynchronous pattern because exporting to 1 lakh rounds takes time. The API doesn't make the user wait. The controller instantly returns a do not to accepted response. The heavy lifting is handed off to a background worker called thread. To scale this for millions of users in future, we could easily replace this local thread with a message queue like RabbitMQ. Next, let us see the entity relation. To track what data has changed, I created a watermarks table. Think of this like a bookmark in a book. Every consumer gets their own unique ID. It shows the exact time stamp of their last downloaded or exported. They only get records updated after the timestamp. For testing, the database uses an idempotent seed script. When Docker boots, it safely generates 1 lakh relationship records without creating duplicates. And the most complex part is the delta export. It tells the consumer if a record was inserted or deleted or deleted. It figures this out using the timestamps and a soft delete flag. Data safety is strictly enforced. The bookmark is only updated if the CSV file finishes writing successfully. If the server crashes during an export, the watermark doesn't change. This guarantees zero data loss. And last but not least, let us see the low-level design of this. That is, this is a general Spring Boot architecture. Here, the health controller will catches the data from the user, like a waiter in the restaurant, and export services. Service is like a cook that gives the service. That means export control will collect the data, and service will give the data. And these are the supporting things that required for the service. Next, let's see in action. I am starting the Docker containers. PostgreSQL is running, and Spring Boot is connecting to the database. Here you can see the CDC application is started. Now I will trigger a full export from Postman. The command URL to get the full export. I am passing my full customer ID to the full export. We'll get a job ID and a file name right away. You can see do not do accepted response is given and a job ID also written. And let us see in server logs. You can see in output directory, you have to get a file. And if we look in our macro output volume, the CSV file is generated and filled with our data that is wrote in that file. And here you can see the data is generated. This is the full export of the database. And finally, let's look at the testing. How we have to test. I wrote unit tests using Markovi for the web player and Jacobo report for business layer. Motive allowed me to bypass the database and test with the asynchronous logic directly. Here is my Jacobo coverage report. As you can see, the test suite successfully covers over 70% of the code bases. And this is the flow of the testing. You can see in the DOS folder. And that completes the CDC watermark pipeline. It is fast, stateful, and production ready. Thank you for watching.